Godzilla, King of the Monsters is directed by Michael Dougherty and takes place 5 years after the events of Godzilla 2014. So it's been 5 years. The Monarch Corporation Science Company, I don't know, whatever, just Monarch, whatever they are. They've been monitoring some of the other titans slash monsters, whatever you want to call them, across the world. There are 17, I think, is what they said initially. This includes Mothra, Rodan, King Ghidorah, and Godzilla. Now for some context as far as my feelings towards Godzilla as a whole. I've never seen the original 1950s movie. It's on the list. It's on Criterion Channel right now, so I'll probably check that out in like the next week or two. The 2014 Godzilla, I wasn't a huge fan of initially. I had only seen it once until this week. I decided to watch it again. The new Blu-ray that Best Buy has had like an $8 ticket with it, so I was like, okay, I'm paying like $7 for this. I'll get $8 off my ticket to see King of the Monsters. So like, yeah, fuck it, why not? I want to watch it again, and I kind of dug it. I think it's a really well shot movie. I think it gets that scale perfectly. Lacking in some areas, but I think it's pretty solid. Definitely not as good as Kong Skull Island, which out of these monster movies that Warner Brothers has been trying to get off the ground, that's definitely my favorite. That movie is gorgeous. It really attaches you to Kong as a character. Adore that movie. Big fan. So now that brings us to King of the Monsters, which is very disappointing. Like I said, the second time viewing the 2014 Godzilla, I was kind of getting excited. All the trailers for this one looked good. There's those beautiful shots in the trailer of these majestic creatures, just these fabulous wide shots that are a great combination of scale, lighting, just cinematography, color, like all of it. It's fantastic, some of these shots. And I'm sure some of those shots sold you guys on it. It sold me on it. I was really excited for this one. But like those shots that you get in the trailer are kind of the best that it gets, and there's not nearly enough of that kind of work being done here. I'll go ahead and tell you, when those scenes happen, it's fantastic. The way they decided to film some of these creatures is incredible, awe-inspiring, what you want from these giant behemoths. I just wish the rest of the movie was shot that way. You know, it feels kind of samey. The movie is really choppily edited. It's really not well shot for the most part of it. I had a really hard time figuring out what was going on. And you know, that worked a lot more in the 2014 movie, where one of its main things that it was trying to do was like kind of sneak up on you and kind of like give you the sense of where the hell are these things, and also gave you the sense of scale to where you never fully saw the creatures. It gave you a certain kind of view. This movie is a lot less impressive in that department. Of course, some of the scenes are fun, but it's just too little in this just kind of boring slog of a movie. Say what you will about the 2014 one, but it had that cinematography going for it. It had that scale going for it, where it felt like this massive, just destructive event. Like it felt like a global catastrophe, in the way that this one kind of doesn't, which is strange considering that this movie is a lot more global. We go to a lot more places, but I felt like the destructive force of like the Mutos and Godzilla in the first one was a lot stronger. It doesn't help that the humans this time around are even duller. You know, I felt like when that happened in the first one, it was kind of working towards at least some of the theme, that they're just these unstoppable forces that are coming for everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. These things are coming for you. They're getting ready to knock you out. This movie is really muddled thematically. There are a couple moments where it actually could have gone for something interesting, and that honestly would have driven my ratings up. There's this one moment towards the end where I literally thought to myself, like, if they do something really gutsy here, I will turn my whole view of this movie around, and I'll sing its praises for doing something actually very interesting. But of course, this movie's kind of too safe to do that. It's just, you know, I prefer the first one because at least that movie is doing something. It has its own vision. This movie feels like more of a lead-up movie. It feels like a more like we're trying to build the universe movie. What really sucks is you have an incredible cast in this movie. People that I've loved in other movies. You got Kyle Chandler, Vera Farmiga, Millie Bobby Brown, you got Bradley Whitford, you got Ken Watanabe, you've got Charles Dance, who they really misuse. I mean, if you can't make Tywin Lannister a good villain in your movie, you're kind of fucked. O'Shea Jackson Jr., Thomas Middleditch, I mean, these are really good actors. You've got a lot of talent throughout this entire movie, and none of it is used. And I can't really blame them, because the script doesn't really give them a whole lot to do. This script is like 90% exposition. It's just people explaining what's going on, trying to explain what their motivations are, which are very stupid. These are very terribly drawn characters. They make terrible decisions. They make stupid decisions. They literally have the scenes where they're just like going over their plans, and that scene happens like 15 times. There are a lot of cliches within the movie. There are a lot of those like, oh, King Ghidorah, he's gonna get these guys, and then Godzilla just comes in. Like, that scene happens like 5 times. Like, this movie doesn't have that sense of tension or build-up that the first one had. And now that I'm seeing this one, I actually appreciate what the first one did more. And boy, did they do my girl Mothra wrong. I mean, like I said, I don't have a huge history with these movies, but like, she was one of my favorite parts of the movie. I thought all the scenes with her were really fascinating. You know, I was really excited to see everything that she was doing, but they kind of fuck her over at the end and really squander what was looking to be like one of the most exciting things about this movie and the universe moving forward, but they fucking squandered that shit. Oh well. I think that kind of sums up my general problems with the movie. I don't want to go too far and just like keep harping on the same things, but yeah, guys, overall, Godzilla King of the Monsters is kind of a disappointment, especially after the incredible Kong Skull Island. So, you know, hopefully King Kong is going to beat the shit out of this giant lizard in the next one. I'm rooting for him. I really am. I give Godzilla King of the Monsters I think I'm going to give it a 1.5. You know, there is a scene where they total Fenway Park, though. You know what? 1.75. I'll give it a 1.75 for that. Fuck the Red Sox, go Yankees. So, what did you guys think of King of the Monsters? Is it a worthy successor to the last two? Are you as disappointed as me? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on my Twitter and Instagram accounts, which I will have links for down in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.